My name is Peggy Sheehy. I serve middle school students. That would be years 6, 7, and 8, 10 or 11 years to 12 or 13 years, in a public school just outside of New York City, about half an hour north, Ramapo Central School District. And in my capacity there, I have worn many hats. I've been their library media specialist, their instructional technology facilitator. But right now I am serving 6th graders in the humanities curriculum, and I've forgotten how much I adored being in the classroom. But it's also served a dual purpose, because now I am no longer in the realm of ideas when I hand teachers ideas and projects and things and say, you could do this. Now I have to put my money where my mouth is and indeed do it. Oh, at about 2005, I, through a crazy series of events having to do with my daughter, my then 21-year-old daughter, introducing me to a virtual world platform called Second Life. And of course, at that time, I was teaching 3rd grade, and the big heavy-duty technology that I was doing was things like WebQuest, and I took a look at this and I said, "Oh, it's one of your games." And she said, "No, it's not a game," because back then we all knew that video games were the bane of an entire generation, and we're going to just rot your brain. So fast forward to my creating my first avatar, my teacher lens kicking in, and saying, "Oh my gosh, I've got to get kids in here," because I had a sense of what would happen. So over the next 5 years, and about 5,000 students and about 90 or so teachers, we basically did project-based learning in this virtual environment. Fantastic things, and what I kept seeing time and time again was that when a student functioned as avatar, all of a sudden there was this level playing field, and everyone was participating, and no one was afraid to say or participate because somebody was going to make fun of them. We weren't going to hear in the lunchroom something that your avatar said, and how they functioned under this semblance of anonymity, even though the first thing they did was told each other who they were, and how the case in point, some of the extreme examples, how the selectively mute child who hadn't spoken in school in years was leading discussions in Second Life, and how that painfully shy kid who's got really kind of friendless, and kind of all of a sudden he was like the leader of a guild in World of Warcraft, and the kids were all respecting him. So these environments kind of give those kids a freedom to behave as journalists, behave as scientists, behave as sage or mentor, and so much mentoring goes on. And none of that's going to happen if we keep the tools out of school, because we have this fear-based reaction about them. We need to bring them in, we need to get in there with them, we need to play with them, learn at their side, and not feel like we need to be master of the tool in order to have it work for us. We're master of the content. We're master of the learning. So identify the learning, get in there and see it, and then let the children play. And stop thinking about play as this thing that belongs over here in this fluffy pink area, that work is over here, and school and learning is that hard work piece, and that's all over here, that lives here. And that play, recreation, is that guilty pleasure that lives over here, that we slowly suck more and more of out of as the kids get older in each grade. Instead, I think we need to envision a world where those things come back together, and we see the genuine, substantial learning that happens in a play state, and all the wonderful critical thinking and problem solving and team building, and kids will emerge as leaders who are normally the ones in the back of the room kind of checked out. So these new environments give us so many opportunities to really take advantage of helping the kids learn, and helping the kids discover passions, and helping the kids teach us about the learning that's happening outside of school without us. And still we can instill that voice, that little bit of wisdom, that you might want to think about that before you do that, or gee, how did that make you feel? Let's see if we could maybe handle that better. Or when you have that swarmy feeling, there's a reason for it. You can back away from that, or you can say something. You don't have to go there. Or just aren't you fabulous? I never would have thought of that. Aren't you fabulous?